And here they are. Look, 45-minute race. There's going to be an awful lot of pit action. Let's see if we can grab a word with one or two of the drivers just before they head off. We've got Alex Kersley on pole position here. Let's see if he's got time for a quick word. Alex, pole position, you ready for this?
Yeah, ready as I'll ever be, I suppose. Yeah.
45 minutes, of course, it's a bit of a tactics race as well, but at least it's going to stay dry.
Yeah, that's a good thing, isn't it, right?
Good man. Well, you clearly like the drive because you put it on pole, so well done. Best of luck for the race. Let's keep going down, see who else we can grab a quick word with. Oh, look at that. He's opened the door just for us. So qualifying went well. You feeling confident?
Yeah, reasonably. Car feels all right, so we'll try and move forward.
It's quite nice. It's sort of a half endurance race, I suppose, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's just right on the edge of it, right on the edge of what the tyres can do, so let's see how we can manage them and try and move forward.
And fuel okay? No issues with fuel?
Fuel should be fine.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Best of luck. That is Alistair Dendy there. Let's keep going along, shall we? There's an open window here. I like it when drivers have their windows wide open because I can just jump in nice and easy like this. And hopefully there's no seating here for me to jump into though. How are we feeling ahead of this one?
Yeah, nervous as always, but there you go. We'll see what happens.
When the lights go out though, nerves just disappear straight into it?
Yeah, once you get going.
That's it. You'll be absolutely fine. Best of luck. Enjoy it, won't you? Let's keep moving down. Wayne Rocket here. You're going to rock it off the line? I had to some, so that's...
I'm going to have to try because this far down it's going to take some doing with these drivers around me today.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but it's going to be a cracking race. Anything can happen in 45 minutes, right?
Exactly, yeah. We're hoping for a nice long race with plenty of action.
Now, just before we go, I don't know if we can bring the camera around just to look at the where the airbag would be for the passenger side. Do you see that? Brakes? You mean the coward pedal. Great stuff. Right, it is almost time for the Hyundai Coupe Cup Championship to get underway. So it's time for the track action. Here we go. It's green light and away we go.
Just 400ths of a second between them. 88 and 28 is the front row. The second row, 69, Alistair Dendy, who won at the start of the season. He had one win, otherwise he's been well placed throughout most of the races. 1:15.496, and beside him, number 32 is Mark Jones. 1:15.688, his best lap. 69 and 32, row 2. The third row, number 12 is Stuart McLaren. 1:15.862, and beside him, number 27 is Darren Banks. 1:15.878. 12 and 27, row 3. The fourth row, number 17 is Wayne Rocket. 1:15.912, and beside him, number 5 is Michael Evans with a time of 1:16.104. 17 and 5, row 4. Row 5, number 10 is Matt Mitter, 1:16.246, and he has beside him number 16 Andrew Holmes, 1:16.277. 10 and 16, row 5. Row 6, number 25 James Goodwin, with alongside him number 81 John Sheridan, who is run by Alex Kersley Motorsport, who's the man on pole position and clearly knows a thing or two about fettling these cars for this series. 25 and 81 on row 6. The seventh row, number 8 is Mitchell Murray, 1:16.686, and beside him number 33, another shared car. This is Alan Evans, driver 1, and Andre Marrow, driver 2. 1:16.806, 8 and 33, row 7. The fact they're shown as drivers 1 and 2 in the programme doesn't necessarily mean that's the order in which they'll be driving.
Yeah.
Then the next row, we have number 19 Johnny Rocket, 1:17.018, and 94 Ursula Jordan, 1:17.129. 19 and 94, row 8. The ninth row, number 75 Dan Fletcher, 1:17.330, and 18 Mark Brunning, 1:17.428. 75 and 18, row 9. The 10th row, number 38 Darren Ford, 1:17.523, and 26 Roger Owens, 1:17.556. 38 and 26, row 10. The 11th row, 92, is another shared car, Paul Calloway and John Winter, 1:17.784 for number 92, and beside number 9 is Lee Visocki and Neil Hurren with the best lap of 1:18.463, car number 9. 92 and 9, row 11. And the next row, 77, a shared car, Thomas Taylor and Ian Goodchild, 1:18.601, with number 46 Mark Worsley next to them with a time of 1:19.926. 77 and 46, row 12, and the last driver, number 65, is Spencer Harrons, 1:20.072. Okay, they're all there I think I'm right in saying, looking at the grid as it forms up, somebody looking a little uncertain about whether that's the Allen Man Racing gold and red liveried car.
Just on the number 9 machine, Lee's name, which I unfortunately butchered as a professional commentator at Thruxton. Myself and John Ward were told that it's Wysowski. Wysowski's apparently the best way for us to be able to say it, but I gave many an attempt at that name and really butchered it, so I still apologise to them when I can to this day. That's part of the thing as a commentator, you have to get names wrong, it's part of the job.
Well, to be fair, there's a lot of different languages, and so, yeah, I mean, over the years that I've been doing this, it's always a bit of a struggle with certain names. Even certain British ones, and you think, well, that must be said like that.
Yeah, that's very true. I always, whenever a name has got the sort of phrase Lachlan in it, I always struggle with that to get it into a sentence. I don't know what it is, but I just do.
1, 2, 3, 4. Row 5 has only one car on it.
Ah.
Let me just see what I can... 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 1600 Holmes may not be there, or certainly one of the cars isn't there. No, it's Matt Mitter. Right, the race is under... The green flag lap is underway, I'm sorry, not the race. They're being led around now. It is going to be a standing start when they get back.
Matt Mitter, actually, one of the really exciting drivers from the Thruxton race meeting a few weeks ago. So if we've not got him there, that'll be a real shame. We've got two very great fans out here at Beckett's actually waving to, I think, one of at least the top 2 drivers, which I think may be the number 28 machine that they're waving at, which of course is typically Maya Lachlan and Paul Lawrie. One of the names I cannot get right. One day. But it's a really good-looking field of cars, this. Some of the liveries are fantastic. I really particularly like the Rockets liveries, which are asymmetrical. White on the left-hand side and blue on the right-hand side with a big Union Jack across the rear. Very patriotic to follow along with. But I like an asymmetric livery. There's just something about it.
So if you want to go like a rocket, you want a car to be liveried like those?
Exactly, that's the one. But to be fair, though, at Thruxton, as I mentioned earlier in the day, Wayne was going like a rocket. He started near the back of the grid after an unfortunate race 1, came through in race 2 and was an absolute missile. Not quite a rocket, a missile in the second one.
Okay, they're back from their green flag lap. Lancaster Insurance are, of course, the sponsors of the MG Owners Club race or championship, but they also sponsor the Hyundai that's taking up its place on pole position.
That's Kersley, isn't it? It's a gorgeous livery, actually. That really complimentary livery on that car. Obviously named after the very famous World War II bomber, the Avro Lancaster, which is one of the greatest things that mankind has ever created, in my eyes.
They're very good insurance brokers, actually. Yes, I have used them.
Oh, okay.
I think my wife's Mini Italian job, Mini, is insured through Lancaster Insurance.
Ah, well, there we go.
So
first-hand experience.
Not because they sponsor an MG Owners Club Championship or a Hyundai. Right, they're back. The gap is there. Yes, so we are without Andrew Holmes, number 16. Everybody else seems to be present and ready to roll. So 45 minutes, lap times of a minute and a quarter. So that means we'll get, well, we'll worry about how many laps we'll get a little bit later as the squealing of tyres signifies the race getting underway as the front wheels scrabble for grip and the drivers head off down towards Copse Corner around the outside. I think Alex Kersley has at least stayed equal first, but whether he's stayed that as he gets to you, tell us.
All right, I've just, one of the fans outside the box has just shouted to me that Alex Kersley works for the MG Owners Club workshop, so that's where the tie-in comes with the whole Lancaster Insurance branding. Right. So thank you very much to that particular fan. We've got an abundance of Hyundais running very wide indeed. The number 9 car is one of them as well, the Wysowski machine. Comes back on, nearly takes the 26 with him, but everybody survives Beckett's for the first time this time.
I thought you were being barracked, or we were being barracked, but in fact you're just being provided with useful information.
Yeah, right. I'm not sure if you heard him through the microphone.
Well, I did hear a voice shouting. But right, side by side, one of them is Alex Kersley, as they... Can he shout who's driving car number 28 at us then? Because we don't know. Side by side coming out of Luffield then, and still side by side into Woodcote up to the end of the first lap. And just with the nose in front is the Lancaster bomber, number 88, Alex Kersley.
Let's hope it's not a Lancaster dive bomber.
Exactly. And the number 28 car, a joint second almost over the... joint first, I mean, almost over the line, 69 thousandths of a second between them. In third place is 69 Alistair Dendy. In fourth place is Wayne Rocket, so he has lived up to his name, working his way up from the fourth row of the grid. You'll be pleased to hear.
Yes, indeed. Certainly living up to the name. The top three right together as they come back into Beckett's once again. And I can tell you right now, they're going to treat this like a 45-minute sprint race, not an endurance. And down the inside, the 28 machine of Mark Lachlan goes through. Alistair Dendy goes through as well. Kersley overcooked it on the way into Beckett's. Matt Mitter as well in, well, being as typically as exciting as I told you he was. He's actually got a bit too exciting for his own good, unfortunately. He's gone straight on down here and now has dropped a number of positions as well. So a few overcooking it into Beckett's.
And as you say, it's a 45-minute race, but they've got time to settle into the race. Well, the first four have gathered themselves together now, so we've got a quartet quarrelling over the lead, coming through Luffield. Now, are they going to work together and try and draft themselves away from the pursuers?
No.
Probably not. So it is 28 in the lead, so it's the Mark Lachlan lorry car that has the lead from Dendy. Kersley is down to third, and Wayne Rocket is the fourth of that leading quartet. Then in fifth place we've got 32 Mark Jones, and in sixth place 27 Darren Banks. Seventh is number 12, which is McLaren, Stuart McLaren.
It's a great quartet this as they come back down to Beckett's. Dendy having a little look down the inside. There's no overlap this time though. Kersley lifts the right rear wheel off the ground, but the 28 machine holding true at the moment. Car 32 getting a bit of daylight between him and the number 27 Michael Banks car's machine, and then there's that massive train headed up by car 16 and car 5. That's Evans and Holmes with a real pile of cars behind them. I think actually they're three wide as they go down the straight. Maybe not actually. I think he's just got rid of the overlap as they go under the bridge, but you might see them once again in the very bright yellow and purple car.
Where's that? About 10th, so?
Yes. Yeah, 9th and 10th.
Yeah, right. Well, meanwhile, the first four cars staying very much together in a slipstreaming, not so much, well, a group, but line astern group. So it is still the 28 car in front, so it is still Mark Lachlan or Lorry in that car leading. From up into second place has come number 88, Alex Kersley. In third place is Alistair Dendy, number 69. Fourth is Wayne Rocket. And then a gap has opened up now to 1.7 seconds. New fastest lap last time around to Alex Kersley at 1:14.156. So they're lapping faster now than they were in qualifying.
Yeah, the circuit definitely heating up as well with that. The sun is really baking it now, and I called this little commentary box a sauna yesterday. It's never been truer, if I'm honest with you right now. The top few go through, and then we've got that brilliant battle. Car 18 leading car 75, 5, then 16, and the number 94 machine as well. All right together, having a great old fight. So many of them 2 by 2 as they come out of Beckett's. They all really do concertina up and all sort of try and get cutbacks on each other, try and carry the pace around the outside. There's all differing manners of lines through Beckett's, and that's what makes it one of the most difficult but also entertaining corners to watch.
But the leaders, I reckon, probably aren't behaving quite like that, because they're a very orderly quartet of cars, and they're maintaining formation. If they have to pass, as Alex did on the previous lap, Alex Kersley did on the previous lap, they quickly slot back into line. So it is Mark Lachlan and Lorry leading Kersley, then a small gap to Dendy and Wayne Rocket, and then we've got a larger gap, slightly larger, to the fifth place car, Jones, Banks, McLaren, Goodwin. Up into the top 10 comes number 18. That's Mark Brunning, who started on the 9th row, and he is now in 9th place, and in 10th place we've got number 75.
Kersley had a look for the lead down the inside of the left kink on the way into Beckett's this time round, but nothing doing. Dendy and Rocket still sat right behind, and then the rest of them, as you said, just spreading out a little bit. It's car 18 that's under a lot of pressure though. That is Brunning. Fletcher all over him. Actually, Brunning's gone out very wide on the exit of Beckett's. I think Fletcher might get him this time round. The cars 9 and 10 close together. Matt Mitter not really able to move forward very much. And car 92 also making strides forward there on the Isle of Man coloured car.
Well, Brunning, in fact, gained 3 places last time around, so the reason he's under pressure is because he's passed people who don't want to be behind him. So the leader's coming out of Lovefield. I'm just wondering whether the 5th place car might be closing up on them a little bit because he's not having to worry about other cars. Mark Jones, if he is closing, he's not yet close enough to threaten them. But threatening the leader then is Alex Kersley. He pulls out from the slipstream on the left-hand side of the track, going past the pits as they head into Copse Corner. Has he got far enough ahead to stick to the outside line? Max Verstappen style? No, he stays on the track.
More than Max did. Well, still a great battle for the lead though, but it's the other 2 behind that are really intriguing me at the moment because they're just holding station. You know, they're still pushing hard to try and get through, but they're just not able to make the advances despite the front 2 really having that battle at the moment. It's Wayne Rocket that's just holding on to the back of Alistair Dendy. There's even an indicator chucked on by Kersley in excitement, I believe, as still.
You're quite an expert on indicators, aren't you? Either when they fall off or when they start working.
For somebody that drives a BMW, for sure.
Yes, quite.
But Brunning really does have a train behind him, and honestly, they've still not stopped coming past me yet. Once Brunning goes through, it's great.
Right, side by side nearly for the lead as they go into Lovefield. So, still in the lead is car 28, the Mar Loughlin lorry car, with Alex Kersley trying to find a way around. Then the next 2 through have changed places. So Wayne Rocket is up into 3rd place, ahead of Alistair Dendy, number 69. So that's a change for 3rd. Jones, Banks, McLaren are next along. Goodwin running up to 9th, Evans down to 10th.
It's typical. As soon as I say that Rocket's holding station behind Dendy and just watching him, he actually makes the move and goes up into 3rd. But that means the 2 leaders are able to break away, but that's if they don't fight like they are doing through Beckett's now. They're so close together. I think there is a little bit of contact on the exit, maybe. 28 car just slotting in front. Kersley able to get over to the right-hand side. He might have actually got a really good run on him. I think he might even overtake him before Brooklands here, Ian, because I'm not sure whether the 28 car missed a gear or something, but he suddenly slowed on the straight.
Oh, right.
Not by too much, but enough to lose the lead.
Well, the leaders are side by side. Will that do as they go through Brooklands, and they're trying to stay that way through Lovefield as well, but they can't quite do it. So although they did open up a small gap over the next 2, they haven't got that gap anymore because they were kind of getting in each other's hair. So as they come through to complete lap 7, we have a new leader back in the lead, number 88, Alex Kersley, with Mar Loughlin lorry directly behind number 28, then Wayne Rocket, then Alistair Dendy, and then it's 1.4 seconds back to, yes, he is lapping quicker than the car ahead of him, but whether he's lapping quickly enough, we'll see. Number 32 in 5th place, Mark Jones. They make an interesting noise, don't they, these cars? That sort of rumbling, a sort of low-level rumbling noise.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a rasp to it, like you expect from a race car, but it is really a low rumble. You are right.
Yeah.
They don't sound like they rev particularly high, these engines, but yeah, Kersley holding on to the lead for now. Car 18 of Brunning still having a very exciting race. Loads going on. He's got the 16 now, the bright orange car of Holmes, chucking it up the inside into Beckett's. We've got a few of them running wide midway round Beckett's. All sorts of track limits being used up. Nobody off on the grass or anything yet, though. And to be honest, with the amount of moves that are being made down here at Beckett's, especially with these being front-wheel drive cars, the rear wheels do hold on quite well in comparison to some of the hatchbacks we've seen, so they stay quite level.
Well, like the speakers have said, for some months, some years ago, I had a road car, one of these, and they do handle pretty well. That must be the Porsche engineering that's gone into them. Kersley to 88 to 28, now half a second nearly. Rocket and Dendy. Is Jones getting ever close? Yes, he is. 32, a little bit closer. Mark Jones in 5th place to the 4 leaders. And behind, up into 9th place, has come number 5, Michael Evans, ahead of number 18, who's also moved up. The one who's lost out seriously. Now, what have you done with him? We've got Fletcher. Not Norman Stanley Fletcher, but Fletcher anyway, number 75, missing.
Yeah, he is disappeared, hasn't he? Apparently he still has no transponder though. He actually is here. He's just come past me. He's behind car 25, so he's in 9th place on the road, but everybody else has gone up a place because I don't think his transponders work this time round.
They put him back in the right place, yes, so that is the transponder point. The pit window's open. I doubt whether anybody's going to be coming in this early because they won't get much racing if they come in now to change drivers. They could come in to make their one, if they're a solo driver, they can make their pit stop now.
Yeah, I think if any of the guys that are a 2-driver team are in amongst these battles, because there's 5 cars that are all over each other on their way to Brooklands right now that you're going to see, but I think if any of them are in that fight, they need to get some clear air and then just try and make up some time, I think. So maybe some of the 2-car teams could do that. Even a single car driver, you never know. Single driver car.
Well, a single driver could get, yes, if you're sharing a car, I think they'd want to go half and half, or near enough half and half for the race distance, but a single driver could come in now and get his pit stop out of the way.
And hope to come out in clear air, because with it being such a short lap, you never know around here, that's the thing. Leaders come back through past me then. Kersley still from the Mark Lachlan Laurie 28 car, Rocket 3rd, Dendy 4th, then Jones, Banks, McLaren, and then the number 25 of Goodwin, teammate of Mr. Banks, and then Fletcher still there, holding on ahead of Evans, who has got Brunning behind him now in the dark blue, number 18. Mitter has recovered to 13th. He dropped down as far as 17th earlier on, I believe. But there's still battles going on, even behind that Ford trying to get past Mazoski.
Well, the battle for the lead going on. It's not been possible for Alex Kersley to make a break. And as he comes through now to complete his 10th lap, he's still being shadowed by the 28 car, Mark Lachlan and Laurie. Then there's a gap back to Wayne Rocket. Since he arrived in 3rd place, the gap has opened up between the top 2 and 3rd place, but he's nevertheless a solid 3rd now, ahead of Alistair Dendy, who is continuing to be caught by Jones. And Banks isn't that far back either. It's Darren Banks, number 27, in 6th place. It's the bottom end of the top 10 where the battles are being raged, though, being fought.
Top 2 very close together, actually, as they hit the apex here at Beckett's. Looks like Kersley hasn't got this all his own way, so he can't disappear up the road at this point. Just looking back towards the entrance to the corner for any further battles. All concerned about the giant wasp that's come into the commentary box, but the number 18 still all over the back of the number 5 right now, which is Evans, isn't it?
Yes, I'm just looking to see what Paul Laurie's results have been this year. Whether he is in the car at the moment, we don't know for a fact. He hasn't done it. He's round about a Thruxton. You would have seen him finishing in 8th and 9th places. So assuming he is the driver at the wheel at the moment, it's going well. Yes, 14th he was at Snetterton, and 9th at Cadwell Park. So you wouldn't normally expect to find him running right at the front, so maybe it isn't him. 8th, yes, 8th or 9th seems to be his best to date so far, which makes me think it's Mark Lachlan driving.
Yeah, I remember that car wasn't particularly high up the order at Thruxton, so it's great to see the resurgence of it, though. It's always interesting when the results change around slightly to what you've seen before.
Indeed.
Car 32 really is reeling in Alistair Dendy right now. So Jones doing a good job. That's the 2 of the, I think there's only 3 or even 4 Mark 3s in the race. I think one of them a bit further down, actually. Yes, I can see it coming into sight now. I think, is it car 8 that's being driven? It's the Misty Racing machine. Yes, it is car 8. And that completes the 3 Mark 3s that we have in the race, the rather more square front end on those machines. Although I say that, the headlights are a bit more square, that's about it.
Leaders through, and it is the number 28 car that has... No, I thought for the moment it was 28 taking the lead. No, it isn't. It's 88 leading. Now we've got a car down the pit lane. That's 27, is it? Could well, yeah. Darren Banks making his pit stop, and he's a soloist. And we've also had number 5 in, Michael Evans.
Yeah, Evans was stuck in a lot of battles as well, so that could really help him out, to be fair, in the long run.
And a nice note on the screen. I hope the teams can convey this somehow to their drivers. General warning: track limits.
That is a very general warning, isn't it? Yeah. To be fair, but Yeah, there are a number of them, I must admit, that are running very wide on the exit of Beckett's here. I mean, even the two drivers that have just gone through now, cars 25 and 75, they're not necessarily pushing too hard to overdo it, but they're just really, really out over the white line and taking a few liberties here. So I think maybe they just want them to reel it in a little bit.
Leaders side by side, staying on the track. Will they come out of left field? Yes. And one of them peels up into the pit lane. So they were side by side coming out of left field. Staying out is number 28. Coming in, therefore, is number 88, Alex Kersley. Not because of a problem. This is because he's decided, well, I might as well make a pit stop now.
Yeah.
So down the pit lane he goes. Up into second place goes Wayne Rocket. Alistair Dendy, number 69, stays out. He's third. Fourth is 32, Mark Jones.
Evans has just come past me, by the way, after completing his pit stop.
He's going to be some way down the order, yes. This is the number 33 Evans.
No, number 5 Evans, I thought it was.
There's more than one Evans.
Apologies. Yeah, Michael Evans, that was.
Michael Evans, okay.
Which will now be Anna Marin Pitcanen. Or Pitcanen, if I get it right.
Nobody's going to worry if your finish isn't as perfect as it ought to be. Yes, so she's back out in 20th place.
Mitter is still ahead of Brunning. Those two were side by side a lap ago when they came out of Beckett's, but looks like Mitter is holding on to that.
Well, I hope this isn't undue optimism, but hopefully this race will turn out with less complications than the race that rounded off the second of the Brit car races yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Really confusing.
Yeah, that did get confusing with penalties and all sorts. Yeah. Cars having we had a different length race. The race got shortened by 50 minutes to 35, which meant the pit window was shorter, but we don't think all of the drivers got the message. So there were drivers pitting with 1 lap to go, despite it being a 2-minute pit stop.
So 28 goes through, leading now by 3.5 seconds from Wayne Rocket, number 17 in second place. In third place is 69, Alistair Dendy. In fourth place is 32, Mark Jones. In fifth place is number 12, Stuart McLaren. In sixth place, 75 has been working his way up the order. I know this has been helped to some extent by pit stops. Dan Fletcher, who started on row 9, but is now in sixth place. In seventh place, we've got 25, James Goodwin. In 8th place, number 10, Matt Mitter. 9th place is number 18, which is some way back, Mark Brunning. And in 10th place, number 19, Johnny Rocket.
I've just counted 9 cars that have gone past me, only 2 of which had all 4 wheels on the inside of the white line here on the exit of Beckett's. The number 9 car is having some active aerodynamics problems by the look of it. The Vyazovsky-Hurin number 9 machine. Rear bumper flapping around on that. Kersley's making his way back through the field. He's actually inside the top 20 despite completing the pit stop, obviously a lap behind where he wants to be.
But that does mean that he is the leading pit stopper.
It does, yeah.
Which is not surprising, really. There haven't been that many. There's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other pit stoppers. There's 6 cars have so far made their pit stop.
However, he did a 1 minute 25.2 last time. Now that obviously, or would that just include the time out of the pit? Yeah, it would have been out of the pits, wouldn't it? I was going to say, otherwise the pit stop was only 15 seconds or 11 seconds. So yeah, that would have just been his time coming out of the pit lane, I think. So my apologies.
Yeah, there's a minimum time they have to spend. I think it's 2 minutes minimum.
Yeah. Owens in the pits, car 26.
Yeah, 2 minutes minimum in the pit lane from pit entrance to pit exit.
Okay. And we've got a track limits warning for Wayne Rocket.
Right.
17.
He has been given a rocket.
Yeah, he has. And not the ice lolly.
Indeed not, no.
No ice lolly for you, sunshine. Kersley continues on. He's got a battle of 3 or 4 cars in front of him, which includes the wounded Vyazovsky-Hurin car.
69 down the pit lane.
Dendy. He only did his best lap. To be fair, a lot of them did their best laps on lap 5 and since then have not been able to improve.
Well, I guess the tyres possibly have lost their edge. And the fuel load coming down might help them in the later stages, but the tyres by then will be past their best.
Yeah. Maybe the track getting a little bit too hot as well. It goes past a certain operating temperature. We know how sensitive tyres like these can be.
Number 38, that's that one with the livery that you rather like the look of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Darren Ford, where's he? I don't think what's you call go fast delivery, that. It's 15th, yet to stop.
Just seeing who else is in, actually. Fletcher came in as well. Is transponder now deciding that it does work?
Yeah, Dendy is in, Fletcher is in, as you say, and Goodwin is in, number 25. But the benchmark, what's that?
The 77 car really chucking it in very hard into Beckett's, lifts the right rear wheel off the ground, and it goes a little bit sideways on the way in, but manages to keep it together. Kersley is closing on that, actually, because he's got 3 cars in front of him. So there's a big group in front of Kersley. Now, he might lose some time here, but it depends on when our race leader pits, because that's the one he needs to aim to beat.
Yeah, the other one that's around about the leader, sorry, Kersley's car, number 26. But I think this is just a function of the pit stop, actually. It's made its pit stop. It's shown ahead of Alex Kersley at the moment.
Yeah, I think when he came out of the pits last time round, I think Kersley might be ahead of him. I think obviously with the momentum of coming out of the pit lane. We'll have to keep an eye out for it, though. He should be with you, actually.
Yeah, Roger Owen's a long way down. And yes, just going past us is Alex Kersley. 19th he is. There are some pit stoppers ahead of him. Is this the second time it's been in? Number 33, the gold and red car of Evans and Marrow.
No, first time it's in, this one.
Right. Well, it's coming in 15th place, but obviously it'll drop back down the order.
Now, Johnny Rocket has not pitted, but he is right ahead of Alistair Dendy on the road right now. I'm not sure if they're on the same lap or not. We won't have to wait for that to all pan out. I'm just keeping my eye out for Kersley. He's already gone past, actually. There's a couple of cars around him as well that he's overtaken, so he's still picking his way through, because the traffic is what may make or break his race here, to be honest with you. I'm surprised the 28 car's not been in yet, though, because they do have to do a driver change. Over halfway through the race now as well.
Yep. Yes, 22 minutes to go. So just past the halfway stage.
28's just gone past me.
It says 69 through Alistair Dendy. He's another front runner. He's emerged this time through in 16th place, but all these places are slightly artificial because they don't have the full effect of the pit stops on everybody. And Alex Kersley is 17th. He's lapping in the 114s, 114.5. The only other driver to be lapping in the 14s is the leader, who's yet to stop, number 28.
Now, interestingly, Dendy is about 10 seconds ahead of Kersley on the road, and they've both pitted. That's the actual position. So Dendy has gained a lot of time in the pits over Kersley. Either that or Kersley has lost a lot of time having to overtake cars on the road because he came out earlier.
Give that another lap.
No, they've just come past me now. Dendy is about 10 seconds ahead. I've seen the gap for myself. Dendy was leaving Beckett's as Kersley was coming in, so not sure how he's lost or gained that much time at either end of that battle, but still.
No, it doesn't make sense, that.
No.
Because there's no way that Dendy is that much quicker than Kersley.
I think maybe Dendy either having a quicker stop or Kersley getting held up with the cars he's been overtaking, because he's overtaken a number of cars since he came back out. So maybe that's just halted his progress.
Well, we'll get Johnny Rocket is now in, number 19. Wayne Rocket having come in earlier.
Johnny Rocket almost sounds like should be a front man of a pop, like a punk group, doesn't he? Like Johnny Rotten.
A bit like Johnny Rotten, yes.
Yeah.
Either that or somebody from one of these, a comic hero.
Yeah. Yeah, very much
like
so.
Superman, Johnny Rocket. Right, well, Alex Kersley is 15th. And he has, at the moment, according to the screen, 3 pit stoppers ahead of him, but some of those pit stoppers are still in the pits.
Yeah,
So the Worsley car, number 46, is shown as still being in the pits. Dendy is gone through now. Yeah, you say the gap's 10 seconds, and that's what the screen says, so I'm not going to argue, but don't understand how that was achieved.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately a bit baffled by that one as well. Otherwise, I'd try and come up with a good explanation for it. But the 28 car still staying out there. We've got a good, 8 cars that haven't pitted yet. 2 of them in the top 10. but they're still in the pits at the moment, so they will filter down. We've got some more cars coming in as well, actually, who have just entered the pit lane on this lap.
Yeah, 6 cars have yet to stop. The first 5 plus the Callaway Winter car, which is down in 9th place, number 92.
Yeah. Keeping my eye out. Dendy's with me again. Gap last time round between Dendy and Kersley, 8.6. So Kersley was 1.5 seconds quicker than Dendy. See what he can do to keep that pace up. He has got clear track now between himself and Dendy as well, so he doesn't have to worry about lapping anybody or overtaking anybody. Wayne Rocket has come out just behind Kersley as well, and I mean by just behind, I mean maybe about 5 seconds.
Okay. Well, the last lap that Kersley did was a 1:14.236. Dendy's last lap a 1:15.7. So the gap's going to, as you say, come down. It's 8.6 seconds now. If it comes down at that rate,
yeah, he'll be with him in no time.
Kersley's still got to win.
However,
well, the only is 28. The other batch was 28, of course.
Yeah, we just need to wait for this top 5 and obviously the Callaway Winter car to pit. Intrigued as to how long the pit window is going to be open. I'd imagine maybe with about 15 to 10 minutes left.
At least 10 minutes left, I would say, yeah.
Yeah. So that's another 8 minutes if it goes to that. If it goes to the 15 minutes, they've only got about 3 minutes left. So that's maybe 2 laps and a bit.
Well, fortified by his ice lolly, Wayne Rocket has just done his, after his pit stop, his best lap of the race. Not the fastest lap. That's still to the credit of Alex Kersley from early on. And the Dendy-Kersley situation is now 7.3 second gap, and they've risen number 69.88 to 10th and 11th places.
Now I'm not sure if Wayne Rocket's not, no sorry, Johnny Rocket's not fighting the 92 car for position, but the 92 machine, the Callaway Winter car, seems to have just suddenly found some pace out of nowhere. And despite being a 1:16.8 with its best being a 1:15.9, it just seems to be stuck to the back of Johnny Rocket at the moment. It can't seem to get rid of it.
Wayne Rocket, I thought had been in already. Anyway, he's in now. Number 17, Wayne Rocket from 3rd place.
McLaren's in as well.
It's shown as his only pit stop. So no, this is Wayne Rocket making his first pit stop. So yet to stop, and numbers 28 and 32, and they hold the first 2 places, separated by 7.3 seconds. And the Holmes, sorry, not the Holmes, Kersley, the Dendy Kersley situation, 6.5 seconds is the gap now, and they have risen to 7th and 8th places.
With Brunning behind them as well by 7/10, but Brunning on his way out of the pits last time round. So Dendy now into here. Now, honestly, I think Kersley had an issue on his outlap, because the cars that are coming out of the pits now, their previous laps are showing us nearly 3 minutes because of the extra 2 minutes from the pit stop. And I remember Kersley's lap came up as something like a 1:20, 1:25. I think he had a real issue on that first lap,
Right.
you know.
Okay.
I think that's where the time's gone.
Well, it's given him something to work for.
That's for sure.
And we still don't know where 28's going to slot in, because it hasn't yet made his pit stop. So the lead still held by 28 from 32, neither of which has yet stopped. Lower down, Mitter number 10 in 5th place has yet to stop, and 92 Callaway, the Callaway Winter car has yet to stop. Mitter up to 3rd place down, number 10.
Yeah, I've got the 2 leaders with me now. Car 28's just left Beckett's car 32 just across the apex, running wide on the exit. Yes, track limits avoidance, or track limits abuse, I should call it.
Dendy to Kersley, 5.2 seconds.
Oh, he's chipping away.
It's a second a lap at least.
Yeah, and he's only 1/10 of a second off his fastest lap of the race at the moment, as well as Kersley. So he's 1.3 seconds quicker last time round on an absolute mission. Dendy's getting stuck with traffic. He's tried to avoid the number 12 car, who was actually one of the quick cars in the field, which is Mr. McLaren. That actually is for position, I think. So this is going to hold Dendy up now.
It is for position, yes.
Yeah. McLaren, after doing his pit stop a previous lap ago, is now going to be battling with Dendy, which is going to certainly help Kersley out in the long run.
Now,
What can he do?
Kersley has just done his absolute best first sector on this lap.
There you go. I think he's seen McLaren fighting with Dendy. He's thought, right, I need to get my foot down now. Let's do it. Not that he wouldn't already be flat out anyway.
Got just under 15 minutes to go. 1/3 of the race still to cover. There is Wayne Rocket through.
Now the pit
in
window
fifth place.
open message has disappeared, but the car 28 and 32 are both in, so I'm hoping they did that in time.
92 has yet to stop.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Fourth place.
There's no pit window open anymore, so I think they closed it at 15 minutes.
Yes.
So they may get a rocket as well.
Yes.
Now we wait.
Right, so we've got Dendy, McLaren, Kersley is the order as they came through that time.
I think Mitter might have actually got out just ahead of Kersley as well. He's in front of him on the road, and he pitted not too long ago. So it's Dendy from McLaren, then Mitter and Kersley all right together, and then car 18 of Brunning is right behind them too. So there's some great scraps potentially coming on here. McLaren chucks it to the right-hand side of Dendy as they come down towards Brooklands, Ian. You should see those in a second. They might be side by side with Dendy on the inside.
This is Dendy and
McLaren in the black and orange car.
Right, they arrive now side by side as they go through the corner. Very smart car, that black and orange one, isn't it?
Very easy to spot.
Yeah, as well, yes, that helps. So coming out of Luffield, now how are they going to be placed? Mitter, no, at the moment 92 yet to stop is third, fourth is 17 Wayne Rocket, fifth is going to be Dendy, McLaren, Mitter, Kersley. That's the order. There's only tiny gaps between them all.
Yeah,
69, 12, 10 and 88.
Well, car 28 has come out of the pit lane and has just gone past me now out of Beckett's, and I've only just started to spot Dendy and the following train out of the pits.
Car which, sorry?
28. Now race leader still holds the position. He's miles ahead of these lot. Absolutely miles ahead, but these four are for position. Dendy, McLaren, Mitter and Kersley.
Right. We had a road car, of course, that seemed not to be making a stop in the second race yesterday, the second grid car race. We've got the same now with number 92, haven't we?
Yeah, they're thinking, stuff it, we'll go for an all-out race win, so we show at the top of the pile.
It's a two-driver car as well, number 92, but it doesn't seem as though the second driver is going to be called upon, John Winter. He's been frozen out.
Yeah, as I said yesterday, he's given him the cold shoulder.
That's another way of looking at it. Yeah. There was, of course, a chap who raced as John Winter who won Le Mans one year.
Well, maybe he wants to misspell the second guy's name, so it says Callaway winner.
Could be.
Either way, he's still out there, and for now, at least he leads the race. There's no argument on that part.
By 41 seconds from 28. Third is 32 Jones. Fourth is 17 Rocket W. Fifth is number 12 McLaren, sixth is 69 Dendy, seventh is 10 Mitter, eighth is 88 Kersley, ninth is 18 Brunning. And down the pit lane, guess who comes down the pit lane?
Oh, number 92.
Indeed, yes. Coming number 92, your time is up, and so that means normality will be restored. Anyway,
Oh, Matt Mitter! Oh my goodness me, sorry Ian, but Matt Mitter just lost the rear end trying to defend from Kersley on the way into Beckett's, and I promise you the car was completely 45 degrees sideways, but kissing the rear bumper of Alistair Dendy's car all the way around Beckett's. He piled the lock on and then managed to save it, but he's lost 2 places in the process. Incredible. I don't know how he saved that.
So the leader next time through will take over from 92. And it's the number 28 car. So 28 is now the leader by the time they get back to you, Chaz, followed by Jones to the tune of 3.4 seconds. Wayne Rocket is third. I'm discounting 92 for this purpose, because he was first into the pits after 26 laps. First past the timing line because he was coming down the pit lane. So it's W Rocket, McLaren, Kersley, Dendy, Brunning, Mitter and Fletcher, I think is going to be 10th, number 75. We've got 10 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Can Alex Kersley work his way through the pack and end up in first place?
Well, he's actually got ahead of Dendy at the start of this lap as well, actually. Sorry, he'd already done it, apologies. He's now right behind McLaren, and Brunning is ahead of Mitter after that big slide that he had last time. Oh, McLaren's gone wide and Kersley goes through. No second invitation needed there.
Right. So that puts him into fourth place.
Yes.
And he's got to make up 10.5 seconds on Wayne Rocket. That might be difficult.
Yeah, now, the pit window closed message has come up on TSL.
Yes.
Now, it didn't come up earlier. It just, the pit window open message had disappeared. So I think maybe the Callaway Winter car might have pitted in time.
Yeah, I think the reason it's come up now wasn't because they were finding out how to spell closed. It's because it wasn't due. It has now.
the Callaway Wins car is with me here at Beckett's now and out on circuit. So no issues there by the look of it for them, but we'll have to see where they filter back in as the leaders have gone past you, I believe.
The frustrating, yeah, they have. The frustrating fact is we can't tell you whether it's Mark Loughlin now at the wheel of number 28 or Laurie.
Yeah.
But whoever it is, his last lap was a 1:16.2. In second place, Mark Jones, 1:15.08, so there's over a second gap in lap times there in favour of Jones. Then in third place is Wayne Rocket, 1:15.4 his last lap. Then we got Alex Kersley, did a 1:14.3, so he is lapping 2 seconds quicker than the leader and a second quicker than the 2 cars ahead of him.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying at the moment, is Kersley. He did his best lap, though, on lap 3, and since then people have done them on laps 21, 22, 23, 25, so some of them obviously putting their quicker drivers in towards the end of the race, I think.
Oh, Alistair Dendy, of course, he did his best lap early on as well, on lap 5. So they're the 2 leading exponents of this art of Hyundai racing.
Yeah, indeed. But Jones doing well in second place, to be fair, because he was just in the back seat earlier on, wasn't he? Just watching all these guys circulate in front of him.
That's right, yes.
Doing a great job in second place. And I tell you what, actually, he has closed right up. 1.5 seconds last time they crossed the line, and now into Beckett's. He's only about 5 car lengths behind the race leader at the moment, the Mark Loughlin Laurie car.
Yeah, that stayed out for so long because I think the other driver, whichever it may be, is not nearly as quick as the first driver, with the result that it's competitive. It's not doing competitive lap times. Alex Kersley has just had a new fastest lap, so he probably heard what you were saying. 14.156. Sorry, not a new fastest lap. Absolute best first sector on this lap.
Yes,
he's 9 seconds behind the leader.
Oh, and Dendy has been overtaken by number 18 Brunning as well out of Beckett's, but I think Dendy, getting a bit of a better run down the straight, might beat him into Brooklands. It's Mark 2 versus Mark 3. That's the dark blue 18 against the blue and white flame liveried number 69 car.
7 minutes and 10 seconds remain, and there's less than a second now between the first 2 as they go through completing their 29th lap. So by the time they get to you, you may have a new leader, Mark Jones, number 32.
Well, Jones may be covering the car in a camouflage livery, and it's certainly been under the radar right now. But he's not got it yet, but yeah, like you say, the gap has come down massively. You can tell visually as well, a huge difference from a few laps ago and from even earlier on in the race. Jones gets a nice exit out of Beckett's as well. The car looks really tidy through there, doesn't lean over too much. And he's got a good run down the back straight now towards Brooklands. And Wayne Rocket can't be discounted from this either. He's only 7.6 seconds off the leader. And then Kersley trying to chase him as best he can. He's hitting the rev limiter every time he comes out of Beckett's, though, so I'm not sure whether that's down to wheel spin, but yeah, he's certainly pushing hard.
Right, the gap first to second, 0.6. The gap second to third, 6.9. The gap third to fourth, 8.5. That's the gap to Kersley between Wayne Rocket and Kersley, third to fourth.
We'll have to keep an eye on that now as they cross the line again.
Alistair Dendy dropping down a couple of places last time around. He's dropped down to 8th place, number 69, having looked as though he was a serious threat. I'm afraid he's wilting rather. So Jones goes through in the lead. So Mark Jones now leads in car 32 from 28, and Wayne Rocket comes along 6.5 seconds later.
Wow, that's closed up. About 2 seconds difference, actually. 1:14.9 over the 1:16.0. And a new fastest lap by Kersley, 1:13.930. Wow.
Well, low fuel load. Haven't changed the tyres, of course, but low fuel load on the car now. That's the best lap of the race. Quicker than anything they did in qualifying. 1:13.930. And the gap between him and Wayne Rocket in third place is 7.59 seconds.
Oh, Kersley's just had a really close call with the bright green number 46 machine. He's just put a lap on that car, but wow, oh wow, that was Mark Worsley in that machine. He was on the inside into Beckett's, and Kersley went through on the left-hand side, but then the 46 car had a humongous lock-up and nearly went into the door of him and pretty much stopped on the apex. But Kersley continues, albeit probably a bit scared.
Right, well, we've had it's time for the leaders to come through again, I think, pretty soon. There's 28 in second place. And the gap first to second's gone up to nearly a second, 0.9 of a second. Mark Jones leads then. number 32, from 28 in second place. Wayne Rocket in third place, number 17, about the same gap to the two ahead of him. And then in fourth place, Alex Kersley, about the same gap again, actually 7.1 seconds, 13.9 behind the leader, 7.1 behind Wayne Rocket.
Yeah, there's a couple of tenths here or there. I think Rocket's taken about 7 tenths off the number 28 car ahead of him, but it's not too much for him to worry about at the moment. We've got a great battle between the number 8 Marie car and the 33 Evans and Moreau car, having a really good dice as they come out of Beckett's, but that's right in front of the race leaders, unfortunately, so that might get sort of diluted somewhat very soon.
The lap times that are being done by 28 are slower than it was showing earlier on. It's in the lap, it's still lapping in the 1:15s, so it is being caught, but they're running out of time. I don't think it's going to happen for them. It'll happen for 28. They'll hang on to that second place, I think, because Wayne Rocket is not catching at a fast enough rate, given that we only have 3.5 minutes to go. So Mark Jones looks like being the winner in car 32, unless there's a tangle with the slower car. Wayne Rocket in third place, goes through 4.9 behind car 28, and then Alex Kersley goes through 6.2 behind Wayne Rocket. He's not catching him anything like rapidly enough.
No, I don't think it's going to be enough, but you never know what could happen in amongst the traffic. We've had a few moments down here at Beckett's as the race has gone on, but yeah, the leader's not actually spread it out too much at the moment. I'd say it's 1.1 seconds now, but it was what, about 4 tenths only a few laps ago, so it's not gone up too much.
It's going up very small amounts each lap. So Mark Jones then started on road 2, looking as though he's going to emerge triumphant.
Matt Mitter, being as exciting as ever, has just gone straight on at Beckett's over the grass and then jumped around, bounced all over the road and manages to continue, but 1 position back from where he was, sorry.
Yeah, Mark Jones has he had a 6th place earlier on this year at Snetterton, a 7th place at Cadwell, 2 7th places at Cadwell, so that's his normal sort of level. But he's done a fine job here. And with 2 minutes to go, he's just gone through. There's time for 2 more laps, therefore. And the gap he's got, the lead he's got over car 28, 1.5 seconds. And Wayne Rocket a little bit closer, 3.9, but even a mighty effort over the last 2 laps, I don't think he's going to give him a better place than third. And Alex Kersley got the gap down to 5.6. He's about halved it, but of course, halving it doesn't give you the result you need.
The 33 is now having a really good fight with the number 77 car, the Taylor and Goodchild machine. They're both trying to get cutbacks on one another right in front of our race leader, number 32, Jones. But to no avail that time round for the 77 machine. Almost got it done, but I think the Evans and Marrow car now should have moved up into 18th place overall. McLaren's still going well in 5th, but he's having a bit of a lonely race now as he's got away from the likes of Running Mitter and Dendy.
So in a moment, we should have, or in a few moments, we should have Mark Jones through to start his last lap. In car 32, yes, it's there. So it goes through that group of cars to start the last lap with just under a minute still on the clock and a lap time of 1 minute 14, 1 minute 15. Another new fastest lap to Alex Kersley.
Wow.
1:13.659. He is far and away the fastest driver on the track. But whatever the reason is for the time that he lost during the pit stop, he's never been able to claw that back. Despite being in charge of the race in the early stages. It's always good to have a bit of variety.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just a real shame for him. However, he lost that time. It was on the sort of return to the race. It just didn't come to fruition for him, I'm afraid. But we've still got some fantastic fights going on. Mitter again locking up on his way into Beckett's, a little bit sideways through the corner. He's such an exciting driver to watch, is Matt Mitter, and at the end of the day he's not doing anybody else any harm other than maybe his own lap times, to be fair, but so flamboyant through every single corner I see him at.
Right, so waiting for he may be in a group of cars, so we may have a bit of checkered flag drum. Here he is, across the line, gets the flag there, clearly identified by his remarkable livery. And so Mark Jones wins by 2.4 seconds from the number 28 car.
That's the Marloughlin Laurie car, isn't it?
Yes, Sam Marloughlin and Paul Laurie. The gap at the flag, 2.4 seconds. Wayne Rocket, number 17, takes third. He's 2.7 seconds behind the number 28 car at the flag. And Alex Kersley, another driver, again setting a time in the 1:13s on his last lap. Best lap of 1:13.659, the fastest lap of the race, but finishes 2.5 seconds behind Wayne Rocket in 4th place. In 5th place, number 12, Stuart McLaren. In 6th place, number 18, Mark Brunning. In 7th place, spectacular driver of the race by the sound of things, up at Beckett's, number 10, Matt Bitter. In 8th place, number 69, fading rather towards the end there, Alistair Dendy. In 9th place, number 75, Dan Fletcher. And in 10th place, number 19, Johnny Rocket. 11th was number 16, Andrew Holmes. 12th, number 38, Darren Ford. 13th, number 25, James Goodwin. 14th, number 92, the shared car, Paul Callaway and John Winter. In 15th place, number 94, Ursula Jordan. In 16th place, number 33, Alan Evans and Andre Marrow. In 17th place, number 26, Roger Owens. In 18th place, the shared car, number 77, Thomas Taylor and Ian Goodchild. In 19th place, number 8, Mitchell Murray. In 20th place, number 46, Mark Worsley. Must have given the full compliment. In 21st place, number 9, Lee Wysocki and Neil Hurren. In 22nd place, another Evans, number 5. Shown as only one driver on the screen, actually, so it might just have been Michael Evans, in fact, rather than being joined by Anna-Marie Pitcairn. And that was 22nd. 23rd was shown on the screen, but 15 laps behind, so I doubt, yes, it won't be classified in, finished in the pits. So not taking the flag either. Number 22, number 5, I mean, number 81, number 27 and number 65 all failed to finish. Well, there you are. A very interesting race.
Yeah.
One or two little mysteries. It's always helpful to have.
Well, that was 45 minutes of intense Hyundai Coupe action, wasn't it? And it's this man over here, Mark Jones, getting the job done. Oh, Mark, you probably want to get that helmet off, don't you?
That is hot. That is hot.
I'll let you take this off. I'll let you take the lid off.
Oh.
Well, congratulations, though, I must say. But I can see the sweat gleaming on your face, though.
I'm so pleased with that, but my God, that's the longest I've ever been in a car in one stint.
Yeah.
Brilliant race, though.
Was the pit stop quite nice? A bit of a respite almost for a little bit?
I had to wait. It's me rushing around. They said, no, you've got to wait. So,
it was fantastic stuff though out there. It really was. Obviously a long time in the car though, but you managed to stay concentrated. You managed to get the job done. Yeah.
I mean, that was a couple of incidents, just a couple of slides, just because of you just lose it just very quickly. And just refocus. But yeah, car was good. Just kept looking at times, just trying to keep the same consistency, not over pushing, just trying to keep it. So yeah.
No worry about the tyres or anything, they were fine, were they?
They were really slippery towards the end, but yeah, I'm really happy, really pleased.
Well
it's my
done.
First podium. So
your first
podium, first place.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Mark Jones, there you go, first podium, first place. He's a happy man indeed. Let's have a chat over here with the guys. Guys, that was quite intense, wasn't it, out there?
Yeah, she was a fat pig at the start, full tank of fuels.
She's lost a bit of weight since then.
She's lost a little bit, I think, but yeah, it was a tough race. Good fun.
Tyres, how did they hold up in the race?
They were terrible at the end.
Yeah.
Horrendous, but everyone's in the same boat.
Everybody's got to deal with it, I
Exactly,
suppose. Yeah. But that's kind of endurance racing, I suppose.
Yeah.
All smiles though, guys, right?
Tyres were lovely for me. I don't know what he's talking about.
Because you didn't ruin them. Yeah, that was good.
He did blinding. He took it home.
It was great stuff, guys. It really was. Congratulations.
Thank you
well
very
done.
much.
Fantastic racing indeed. We wanted to, this is Alex Kersley. He actually started on pole. I think he finished in 4th place in the end. Not quite what he was looking for. We haven't got much time actually because we do have the MG Owners Club Race 2 about to start here at Silverstone. It's a fast turnover. Stay tuned for that because it's going to be another superstar race.